Game resumed.
All right, guys, and welcome back to our match between UWO and UT Austin. Spawning here in the bottom left position as our pink Zerg player, who is actually random. It is Ubios. And spawning in the top left position, a very strong Terran player, a former GM on the North American ladder. It's a purple Terran player, Corlith, of course, playing for University of Western Ontario. So we're here on Star Station. It's a TVZ, and it's a must-win situation for UT Austin. And, you know, if you are Ubios right now, you're a little bit frightened, I feel like.
I would be extremely frightened. Personally, I'm a former teammate, actually, of Corlith and practice partner. It's been a while since I've talked to him, but he has been in the Grandmaster League several times. He definitely has his share of experience, and if I was Ubios, I would be downright frightened right now. I mean, if he loses this game, he's going to have to wait till the next qualifier, and it's another week away, so...
Yeah, I mean, no, definitely not end of the world. And, you know, when you're this much of an underdog in this kind of scenario, it almost lets some pressure off of you just because, you know, you have that sort of underdog mentality. So maybe Ubios was able to use that to his advantage. And also he was playing as random. So Corlith can't really have a, you know, thorough game plan decided just yet. Doesn't know the positions and doesn't know the race that he's going against. So these are all things that Ubios has going in his favor. So we'll have to see how it plays out. But either way, like you were saying, Corlith, a very experienced and very strong player in the CSL and just in general.
Yeah, it's really amazing, you know, how it is coming into the CSL as an underdog in a match. Because in the CSL, there's a lot of preparation for matches from some teams, but other teams they'll end up underestimating their opponents if they, you know, don't have a record that really stands out. And sometimes you can, you know, get your opponents to underestimate you. And if you're an underdog, that's definitely a huge tactic that Ubios may be, you know, trying to throw in here.
Yeah, I mean, looking at even looking at Quantic Astoji's stats from this qualifier, he went, you know, with that final game that was played, he went 3-2 in the qualifier. I mean, of course, one of those losses was to Masan, but he also, you know, took another loss earlier on in that same qualifier. So, you know, you have top players here, you know, Grandmaster quality, taking more than one loss in a given qualifier. That means, you know, you can't really take anybody for granted. You can't take any win for granted. So Ubios now getting scouted by Corlith SEV. He knows exactly what's up. So he's probably feeling pretty comfy right now, getting that CC on the low ground. And it looks like getting another Rax as well. So just kind of opening up conservative here, not getting too risky.
Yeah, I don't see any, I see a gas right now, but at this point, Corlith only just started to mine gas. I think he's going to throw down a third barracks, so he's going to have a very heavy bio base to his army. I'm sure he's going to throw down a factory sometime soon just to mix things up. Actually, he's going to go with a tech lab first, see if he can get some upgrades for that bio. And Ubios, he's getting a roach warren, and he's researching burrow, actually, quite early here. This is an extremely early research for burrow.
Oh yeah, no, it's badass. I'm actually happy to see this. The first time I actually saw this strategy and was actually on this map was Lenok actually doing this, and he pushed with like 4 roaches, which doesn't seem like much, but he did this roach burrow micro that didn't necessarily do a ton of damage to the Terran player, but it forced so many scans. So I mean, you have to get that perfect number, but Ubios is going to make 7 roaches. He's going to have burrow. This is going to hit pretty quickly, and if Corlith is very diligent with his mules, which, you know, a player of his caliber is going to be on top of his mule production, you know, he may not have the scans to kind of deal with something like this.
Yeah, this could hit him really hard. Luckily for him, he's putting down an engineering bay, so he will be able to get turrets up, which will, you know, prevent him from losing those scans, losing those mules. The question is, will he put a turret up right after the engineering bay goes down? He doesn't have the scouting info. He doesn't know about these roaches. He doesn't know about the burrow. So this could be very advantageous for Ubios. Just a couple roaches here, a couple there.
Oh, he sees it. He sees everything.
He does.
And
And
a
there's a
nice
full
wall-up from
wall.
Corliss. Yeah, a very nice wall-up from Corliss. It looks like some of these supply depots will go down. Here come the SCVs, and a Marauder is going to be so useful in dealing with this. Ubios really wants to get this wall down. There goes the first burrow. Look at that micro. That is pretty solid right now. Those roaches will be able to, of course, heal up over time as well. And no roaches have gone down so far. Corlith has lost a few SCVs so far, and this is being pretty well handled. First scan does go down, though, and a couple roaches will go down with it.
Yeah, this is some very impressive burrow micro, but the trouble is Ubio showed his burrow tech, and Corlith immediately responded with that missile turret that's going down. And with that missile turret there's really not much you can do. The Marauders outranged the roaches severely, and in conjunction with the wall, using those Marauders against the roaches is just so effective.
Yep. So unfortunately for Ubios, he went for this build, and it would be so strong against somebody that, did that racks into a reactor factory, for instance. For those Hellions and even a Widow Mine or two. I mean, the roaches aren't going to care about that all that much. As soon as it gets hit with that Widow Mine, it'll just burrow and regen up. But in this case, Corlith opened up 3 racks after his expansion, so he just had ample bio to kind of deal with this pressure. And, when you're Ubios in this position, what can you do except, just kind of burrow over here and just say, well, fine, I'll just pout over here because I can't really break your wall. Spire now coming down behind it, so he's going to try and do some damage with Mutalisk here.
Yeah, Ubios, he has a great transition here that's been waiting for him. He only invested in about 7 roaches. Maybe a few more. So, that the early investment in roaches wasn't too bad. He does have this transition set up to get some Banelings and some Mutalisks in the mid game with his third base. But Corlith just looking fantastic on the macro. He's getting that third base down, and that'll float down and be saturated probably about the same time as Ubios saturates his third base. But I'm not even sure if Ubio is going to get to that point because there's Widow Mines walking across the map now, and a small bioforce from Corlith of Marines and Marauders with Stim researched, and Stim can make all the difference when it comes to sniping third bases. And that Widow Mine almost shot a drone there, just unburrowed and saved its ammunition, went over to the
Yeah, I love that. Corlith actually consciously unburrowing that Widow Mine because he wanted to protect his bio as opposed to just killing one drone. Very advanced technique, I feel like, and something that we're going to see more and more of, as Widow Mines become more figured out. Now that that base is taken out, Ubios trying to get some Mutalisks out on the field, getting his upgrades. If you look at his production tab, it's looking pretty solid here, but of course Corlith sitting so comfortably on 3 base right now, or 2 base rather, and his third command center just now morphing into an orbital.
Yeah, Corlith has a very extremely demanding macro position right now. He just took out the third base, and right now he has 54 SCVs to 46 drones. A huge lead, and his third is about to go down.
The Mutalisk right in the main base, right before that missile turret actually finishes. Now he gets that finished. Ubios is doing a tiny bit of damage here. Now he's going to pick off a couple more SCVs, delay that eBay, or excuse me, that armory production. Now Corlith, doing an overstim there, and Ubios overall so far doing a nice amount of damage with his Mutalisk to start.
That's beautiful. He only has 7 Mutalisks on the map, but it is enough to do damage, enough to make distractions. He was able to get Corlith to pull back his entire bio army to the main right there. And right now he's going out to get that third. And if I was Ubios, I would even try to get a fourth because, Corlith has such a commanding lead. It's not... Whoa, did you see that Widow Mine go off? I think that Widow Mine got about 25 Zerglings or so, and Ubios had to scoot out of there. But that was at the 4th base, and now that 4th base is freed up. And, whoa, engagement in the middle of the map. The Mutalisks and Zerglings have to watch out. That Bioforce is just looking fierce at 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, Ubios at a supply deficit right now, and when you're at a supply deficit and your unit composition is just Mutaling Bane, that's when you know you're in a little bit of trouble here. Now this base once again going to go down for Ubios. The Bioforce from Corlith, again, like you said, just looking a little bit too large. Here comes Ubios trying to clean this up. A nice amount of Lings actually getting those Mutalisks on those medevacs, but the The Widowmines do a little bit of damage there, nothing too crazy, and actually the Ling's getting a good surround on the Marauders, but Corliss' supply is staying quite high and only reinforcing Lings here coming out from Ubios. It's going to be a challenge to clean this up, and with the Mutalisk going down, I don't know, I feel like Ubios starting to get on his last legs here.
Yeah, Corliss did some fantastic micro, just dancing around the high ground, using the Medivacs and the Widowmines together. And at this point, look at that third base. It's down to 7 HP for Ubios. And I'm very surprised Corliss didn't snipe that. And Ubios just trying to defend
a nice
here.
Guy, you know.
He got one transfuse off on it, second transfuse. That's good. I love those transfuses. And Ubios trying to move for a counterattack with these Zerglings. And he's going to get a couple SCVs, but that's going to be about it. The bio is very quick to respond. And that Widowmine actually doing a bit of splash to everything there.
Yeah, getting a nice hit off for the most part. I mean, Corliss, even if he trades his units along with Ubios' units with those Widowmine hits, that's still good for him. You know, just because he has that superior economy right now.
Yeah, Corliss has amazing macro. His production tab is more than halfway across the screen, and that's saying something because I have 2560 by 1600 resolution here, so it is a huge production tab that Corliss just had, and he's moving across the map, getting his 4th command center now. He's probably gonna get that in the middle north position.
Oh,
and this bio. Banelings, the Banelings, a few good hits, and then the last ones got the Marauders, unfortunately. Corliss going to be forced back, hop in those dropships, run on home, and Ubios trying to, get that 4th base solidified and, really get some saturation there.
Yeah, there were some Baneling landmines that were just dying to go off, but unfortunately Corliss did not stand over it in an ideal spot, and it was mostly Marauders that were near it anyway. So those Baneling landmines going to be saved for another day by Ubios, but I love the thought. Baneling landmines one of a great techniques to sort of get back in a game that you're feeling behind in. If you get a huge clump of Marines caught off guard, that can be one really great way to get yourself back into it. We do see +3 weapons coming down for Corliss, so he's continuing his upgrades and now actually getting a 4th base established. And this is going to be a huge problem for Ubios. He really can't let this go up because, at that point, Corliss is going to just surpass him in economy entirely.
Yeah, when Corliss transitions to holding this 4th base, his macro is going to be extremely solid, especially with the 3-3. If you look at his production right now, he has a ton of barracks, 1, 2, 3, I think 9 barracks. All of them have add-ons. 3 factories, just very solid production from Corliss. And on 4 bases, he's going to be nearly unstoppable. But Ubios, he's really gotten his macro together. Finally, we're at the 1830 mark, and he has the 4 bases up and running. His main is almost mined out. I'd love to see him transfer a couple drones from the main over to the 3rd, because he's got about 17 on that one mineral patch. But Corliss, he's just keeping up with this.
Look at that production tab, man. I'm just so happy. Finally somebody getting drilling claws. I just really... The upgrade is so good. I mean, when you see how much faster a Widowmine really burrows, I think drilling claws is going to become an absolute standard, at least in TVZ. And if you want to mix in Widowmines into your composition at all in the late game, it must be standard. It is just so strong. It's an upgrade that is, for me, an absolute no-brainer. So I can't wait to see Corliss use it just a little bit here. He is getting a 5th command center by this planetary fortress, so looking really solid here. Hive just now coming down for Ubios. I mean, he's been stuck on Mutalisk tech for so long this game. He's had no chance to get that Hive. And now Mutalisk kind of engaging this bio army here. Not very many. His Mutalisks are split up from the rest of his other Mutalisks, I guess, because he's just been making so many. Banelings are now getting taken out as well. Ubios is going to be able to clean this up, but not as cost effectively as he would have liked.
Yeah, finally Corliss forced to pull those medevacs back. Ubios, I agree with you completely about the drill upgrade for the Widowmines. It opens up an entirely new field of play where you can use Widowmines offensively, just run them in front of your army, burrow as you're attacking. And
This Widowmine might connect, and there is one good connect on the Widowmine. It's not actually going to take out the Mutalisk, but getting some good splash damage. Luckily, if Mutalisk don't die, they regenerate in about 2.5 seconds entirely, so that's actually pretty quickly.
Yeah, they have some great regen. They've already gained back a third of what they lost, half of what they lost. I take that back. So they're.
I mean, I was being sarcastic, but I mean they do regenerate very quickly. So you know, those Mutalisks are going to, of course, still be very useful throughout the rest of this game, hopefully. But here comes Corlith with such a big army, and look at how many medevacs are in that army alone. Widowmine's now starting to borrow as well, so of course that's going to help protect Corlith's army here. And the Widowmine is going to go off, gets a good chunk of Zerglings, it looks like. And with Ubios' supply looking dangerously low here, these Mutalisks cannot engage that army.
That was a beautiful split by Corlith, getting all the Marines back there as far as possible. Spreading them out, getting the Marauders in front to soak up the Banelings. And just with that micro, Corlith has gained such an advantage. There's really not a lot of Zerglings for Ubios. He just spawned about 40 of them. But if he doesn't come in with these Zerglings and the Mutalisk right now and clean this up, Corlith could just pull the game off right here.
Yeah, it looks like Corlith gonna lock this up for University of Western Ontario. Not a big shocker to see these guys move on to the playoffs, and GG does come down from Ubios. A well-fought game, but Corlith just gonna end up being a little bit too strong. And yeah, man, that means UWO gets one of those coveted spots in the playoffs, along with Georgia Tech, and not University of Washington.
They definitely worked for it, UWO, that is. UT Austin, they gave it a full-hearted effort. Hello Kitty started off the match pretty well for them.
Yeah.
But after that, UWO just took over. You can tell they prepared very well for these matches, and they knew who they were going to be going against in this final match. And, you know, I'm really glad UWO was able to make such a strong performance.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive, and I mean, it was, again, even like you said, with Hello Kitty taking that first win, not only did he take it, he beat Astoji, which is, you know, considered to be UWO's strongest player. So to see him go down in the first game was sort of a, you know, a worrying sign, but they were able to pull it out. You know, great play of Brown Ra with that insanely strong composition, the 2v2 team with relentless aggression, and Corlith to wrap it up with just overall really solid play.
Yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. It was a lot of fun having you. We have so much stuff going on here at the CSL. As you know, we're giving away a laptop. Please check out that promotion. NCIX, we're actually going to give away a $100 NCIX gift card. So definitely make a submission for that. Like NCIX, like MSI, like C-Star League, all on Facebook. Tweet at us. Tell us how much you like the CSL. Tell us how much you enjoyed these games. Right after the match, we're going to be in Raid Call doing a Q&A. So anyone who wants to hang out afterwards and talk with other viewers about the match, jump in Raid Call definitely and hang out with us. I'll be there myself, you know, on chat. Anyone have any questions for me personally, or I'm sure Chris as well, would be more than happy to answer.
Yep, we will be in Raid Call. That is Group 1111. Go download it right now. Hop in chat. Last week we actually were able to do a Q&A with Hello Kitty, and that was pretty fun. You know, we got to learn about the origins of his name and stuff like that. It was pretty funny. And of course, all the other promotions that we have going on, please take our stuff. We have a laptop that we want to give you. We have gift cards. We have just too much stuff that we want to give you guys. So be sure to check out all of those goodies. We will be doing a Q&A in Raid Call. Super easy to download. Just go ahead and grab it. There's a group of us in there right now, and we'll be in there for at least another half hour or so. So it'll take you about 1 minute to download it. Hop in and yeah, come hang out for a Q&A.
Yeah. Thanks for your support, everyone. We'll be back here tomorrow. What do we have scheduled for tomorrow?
We have a community night scheduled, I believe. I think we're going to be doing games, live King of the Hill games on Game Heart, if I'm not mistaken. And guys, if you haven't seen Game Heart, you need to see it. This is not an option. You need to see this in action. It is so awesome. The UI itself is really cool, and the fact that you can zoom out, check out those flanks. If you've watched the GSTL, then you've seen Game Heart, of course. But to mess around with it live, we're going to be doing drawings. It's just really fun to watch. I can't say much more about it because that's really all there is to it.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of community interaction on that King of the Hill. Definitely, you guys, anyone, feel free to show up early, sign up for that King of the Hill, and definitely get involved.
Yep, so that is going to do it for us today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, sign up for that third qualifier. I believe registration ends this Friday. So hurry up and get your team signed up if you want to participate in the next qualifier. And who knows, if you get far enough, we will be broadcasting your games. I mean, round of 8, round of 4, they all get broadcasted, and there's just been great games so far. I mean, this qualifier alone, this round of 4 was just insanely high quality, and you know that University of Washington is not done, and you know that UT Austin's not done. So we will be seeing them again, and maybe you guys, if you enter in your team and get up there.
Yeah, this is definitely the best of the best as far as the CSL has to offer, and really the best of the best in North America. So please come back. Check us out. Qualifier 3 is coming up this weekend, and it'll be casted over the next couple weeks. So please tune in.
All right, well, that is going to do it. Matt, glad to have you back to the CSL. It's our first time casting together. And you couldn't have picked a better day to sort of, return to CSL commentating.
Yeah, this is awesome. I haven't casted CSL in like a year. This is my first time back here. I'm a little rusty, but you know what? I'm shaking off the rust, shaking off the dirt, and this is actually a lot of fun. I was really happy to cast with you today, Chris. Yeah. This is just fantastic.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Guys, thank you so much. We will be back next week, or maybe the week after, with more broadcasting. Again, tomorrow night is really the night that you should be checking out because it's going to be super fun. Game Heart, again, so much fun. So this is Chris Messer signing off.
See you guys later.